Hello, everyone. This is Shred Stakes. I'm Mike Shredder. I'm joined by Casey Hunt. He's a guy who I had some many fierce battles with in high school basketball, but he played baseball over at Mississippi State. Now he's just got picked up by the Milwaukee Brewers. So Casey, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good seeing you. Thanks for having me. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely. Let's get it started. How's the summer been going for you?
Summer's been good. I'm out here in Arizona right now. It's pretty hot. I think I got here. I think it was 118 when I got here. Today I think it's 95 because the hurricane coming up not too far away from us. So it's been a blast. So just made the playoffs. So everyone was pumped up about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking forward to getting through each level up into Milwaukee.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about another league that you were in for a little bit. I actually knew about the Cape Cod League because I was trying to do some broadcasting stuff over there, but I know it's really competitive. Talk a little bit about that kind of after exited, I guess, Mississippi State. What led you to that? I don't know if you did it before then or whatever, but I just know you're doing it this summer. So talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I'll start. My brother Shooter played in '07 and '08, or '06 and '07, or one of those years. But he played up in Falmouth in the Cape Cod League. It's the same coach when I went up there, which is awesome. So he really kind of knew us. I knew him a little bit from going to those games when I was 7. But yeah, no, it was a blast. I went after we won in 2021. I went up to Cape Cod, played for like a few weeks, and then I went back to the same team this past summer. I just thought I wanted to get out there and continue playing after our season. Hopefully, just get picked up a little bit, and that kind of worked out this summer.
Absolutely. So again, the journey to baseball. I mean, I know you have some brothers, and obviously, I know your dad coached a little bit, but just talk a little bit about that because I know you also played basketball a bunch, and you're pretty good at. Obviously, you guys beat Ridgewood pretty heavily when I was there. But all jokes aside, what kind of got you to ultimately say, look, baseball is kind of the path I want to choose, and I want to go to Mississippi State to do this.
Yeah. I always knew baseball was a passion of mine. I used to have a wiffle ball field in the backyard, play every day, and it helps when you have older brothers. I could follow in their footsteps a little bit, and ultimately, I wanted to play baseball. It's kind of where my passion was. Basketball, I mean, I still miss basketball right now. I kind of wish I played in college, but baseball kind of worked out here a little bit. But yeah, no, I loved every second of baseball and basketball together, and I'm kind of looking forward to what baseball has coming up for me.
Talk a little bit about deciding to be a pitcher, right? Because
Mhm.
you're an athletic kid. You could have chose to play different positions. What this made you decide to be a pitcher specifically?
Yeah, in high school I was a shortstop mostly, and then I pitched a little bit too. I knew I kind of wanted to pitch. Both my brothers were pitchers in college, and they were already up there when I was in high school. So I kind of wanted to follow in their footsteps a little bit. And I thought having control with the game kind of helped being a pitcher. But yeah, I went into Mississippi State as a shortstop and a pitcher, so it was a two-way. So the first day I took some BP and I was throwing with the pitcher, so it was kind of a best of both worlds. But ultimately, after the fall, I was like, yeah, I don't think hitting's for me anymore. There's some really good guys out there throwing 98. I said I can't hit that, so I figured I'd try to be one of those guys that I can't hit as a pitcher.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, how do you think being a multi-sport athlete helped you with baseball, or did it help? I mean, I feel like maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but I like to just hear that
Yeah,
because you play two
no,
sports.
it definitely helps so much. I mean, that's what the talk of the world is today, the sports world. Whether to play multiple sports or just kind of specialize in one. But I always really wanted to play everything I loved. I played football growing up against you. I remember how big you were on the line, killing us in football. But I played football from third to eighth grade, and then basketball, obviously, from when I was little up until senior year of high school. I've been playing my whole life. So I think it's helped me a lot as an athlete, just kind of knowing some agility skills from other sports helped me a lot to become a pitcher and stay athletic on the field.
For sure. Talk a little bit about just kind of what made Mississippi State the fit for you. I mean, I know you obviously in 2021, we'll get into that, but you guys had an
Mm.
incredible year there, and obviously you're in the SEC. But talk a little bit about how that was the right fit. It turned out to be it looked like a good situation, but what led into that and what made it ultimately the right choice?
Well, out of high school, my parents said to take everything slow, recruitment wise. So I didn't want to rush anything. I wanted to get the right fit, and I knew I wanted to go south, somewhere away from the cross in the north, a little bit. But I wanted to go somewhere where baseball was kind of like the sport on campus, and Mississippi State was that. I love the coaches. My brother actually was best friend or is best friends with one of our assistant coaches, so he got me in connection with Mississippi State. But my last four, it was Mississippi State, Auburn, Maryland, and Wake Forest. So I mean, there's a wide variety of schools, really good schools, really good baseball schools. So I was really pumped up to choose Mississippi State. I mean, the history there is awesome. The fans are awesome. You get 10,000 a game, which is absurd. But they love their baseball there, and I love every aspect of that.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that adjustment to the SEC a little bit, right? Because
Mhm.
you play a public school in New Jersey. You're getting X amount of fans, probably 50 to 100 fans. I know the basketball games a little different, but definitely for baseball
Mhm.
games. I mean, I went to some of those games when you guys played Ridgewood. You weren't getting 10,000 fans, definitely
Yeah,
not. But
yeah.
talk a little about the SEC in terms of just the adjustment to like the environment, the travel, the competition. I mean, again, it's arguably, if not the best baseball conference in the country, right? So talk a little bit about how that was the adjustment to that, going from
Yeah,
Ramapo to that.
yeah, it was pretty absurd. I think we'd had like 25 to 50, 100 pushing it in high school. But mostly our parents and some of our friends, maybe if they were off to coming. But yeah, no, it was surreal kind of experiencing my first game. I think we played Oregon State at home, and I think they came off maybe an Omaha run. So it was packed out. There was a top 25 matchup, and it was packed out, but it was cold. But it was surreal though to play in front of all those people, 10,000 a game, which is absurd for any kind of baseball and college baseball. But it was awesome. The traveling's different. I mean, in high school, we take a little yellow bus and drive 10 minutes over to Ridgewood or Northern Highlands and play in front of 10 people. But this we're taking airplanes and just our own airplane. So we fly over, we'll say South Carolina. They'll have food there ready for you. I mean, it was awesome. Going to experience all these places across the country, all these big time places, SEC, and a lot of these fans, like I mean, they love their sports, they love football, and they love baseball. So which was pretty cool to experience.
Talk about what was the biggest adjustment for you going into Mississippi State from
Mhm.
from high school? There had to be an adjustment, I feel like.
Oh yeah, it was a big time adjustment. I think I was 175 pounds going into college, my freshman year in college, and it's tough because all the Southern guys they're playing year round baseball, and I'm up here in the North. I mean, they start their season in like end of December, like they're practicing, and then in January is their first game. They go all the way up until April, May. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm still playing basketball in what February and March. And then our first game in baseball is in April, and we play for like 3 months. So I mean, it was a weird adjustment, but it was a good adjustment. Took a little while because I was so undersized a little bit, and I was playing at two sports, obviously in the Northeast, which is tough getting out to play baseball. So I felt like I was a little behind most of the Southern guys, but I mean, I just kept working a little bit and kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I want to shift over to something that absolutely huge memory for you, winning the national
Mhm.
championship in 2021, which gotta say that's awesome. I mean, that's a really surreal experience. Talk about not just the whole national championship. Talk about playing in Omaha, like that whole season. I mean, that had to be probably what has to be the highlight of your athletic career. I feel like.
Absolutely, it is. It absolutely is. I mean, that was an awesome year. I think COVID knocked down the MLB draft to 5 rounds. So we had some guys coming back that were really good and really special. There's older guys, Rowdy Jordan, he's our center fielder, and Tanner Allen was our right fielder. He was actually the National Player of the Year. So we had those guys coming back, and I kind of knew it was something special, but I didn't know about the pitching staff. And pitching staff, I mean, ended up being the best in the nation, which was unreal to be a part of. It's just guys we didn't throw like a lot of innings at a time. We go out there, have one, and just hand it to the next guy, and we just kept rolling, which was pretty special. But it was awesome. Omaha was so cool. I'll start with the Notre Dame, the Super Regional to go to Omaha. I think we won the first game and then lost the second game, and then the third game was, I mean, it was packed out. It was 15,000 there. That was unreal moment. Kind of experiencing that after we won, throwing our gloves in the air, running onto the field. That was so cool. And then Omaha was probably we left like 3 days later. So we had to put the Notre Dame win aside. And then I mean Omaha was awesome. We played Kyle Teal from Mawa, so he's one of my best friends, which was really cool watching him play there and playing against him. Um, but it was awesome. So many fans there. I mean, you got eight big time programs, so a lot of fans are traveling over there, and it's packed in Omaha. They love that. They love the baseball around there. Trying to remember what else. I mean, there's so many moments that I mean I would love to uh, cherish. But I remember after we won it, we went up on Kumar Rocker, first rounder for the Mets. Went up on him like 3-0 in the second. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do it. And then one of my buddies hit a home run in like the eighth inning to put us up like 7 or 8-0. I was like, oh my, we're gonna win it. And then finally we ran onto the field after the last out. And there's like a picture of me like with my hands up running onto the field with like
Oh,
20 of
I've
my
seen
teammates in the back.
it.
Oh, I mean, it was awesome. It was so cool getting experience that. My whole family was there, which was awesome. And I mean, that's something you cherish for your whole lifetime.
Yeah, think about it. You go from a guy from Wyckoff, New Jersey, playing in front of 25 people, and then you play at
Yeah.
that's a cool experience. I mean, I know my experience, but the most I ever played in front of, because I went to a small school, was
Uh-huh.
1,000 maybe, if that's
Yeah.
pushing it, right? It was similar to like
Yeah.
when you played North Jersey basketball, kind of. So that's a cool
Yeah.
experience. What I also wanted to get into is, how exciting is it now to, now be moving on to the next stage of your baseball career, right? Obviously you put a lot into making this happen, and you're going to work your way up to, eventually,
Mhm.
because I know when you get drafted or whatever, you initially go down to the minors and then
Yeah.
you work your way up. But talk about like how exciting that's been, and, what are you looking forward to in this next part of your journey? Again, it's probably going to be an adjustment at first, probably when you first walked in, but it has to be so exciting to be able to say, I can play baseball now after college, and this is what I can do for a career potentially, right? So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm pumped up for it. I mean, you really specialize in baseball now. This is your job, so you're thinking and breathing baseball 24/7 almost. It's different than college where you have to juggle. I mean, eating and studying and whatnot, and baseball. But I'm really pumped up about it. Just looking. I mean, the minor leagues is a grind. I mean, I've been here for like almost 40 days. I mean, it's a grind. It's every day from 11 till 9 o'clock p.m. So I mean, it's a grind, but I'm enjoying it. This is what I wanted to do ever since I was little. So it's a passion I've had for a while, and we'll kind of see where it goes. Hoping each level I learn something new, and I keep building as a player and as a person. So I'm really pumped up for it.
If you are cool sharing this, what's the one thing you're trying to really improve upon as a
Mhm.
pitcher? Again, because you try to make improvements. Obviously, I know between each level each year.
Mhm.
What's the big thing you're learning in the minor leagues that you're like, okay, I got to make this adjustment now if I want to keep building my game to the next level?
I think the SEC helped me a little bit. I mean, there's really good players in the SEC that helped me a little bit to get a little ahead of maybe a few people here. But I just keep working on getting more physical, getting bigger. That's always a goal. And then kind of developing some new pitches, maybe some more pitches, and kind of going from there and learning how each batter kind of works in the minor leagues compared to college. So that's kind of really a good adjustment now. I'm gonna have to make knowing what each batter does from each plate appearance.
Yeah, like how much of a baseball, I mean, as a pitcher, because I didn't play baseball that much. I commentated a
Mhm.
few, but not as much. But how much of like pitching versus hitting is a lot of it's just like a mental chess match as opposed to saying, okay, I can throw the fastball 98, I can throw a decent slider. But like how much of it from your standpoint is like it's more of like a mental chess match, figuring out like what this hitter likes to do and trying to figure out how to
Yeah,
disrupt it.
yeah. I mean, that's what baseball is. I mean, it's a mental game, which which sometimes sucks and sometimes doesn't. But you got to know what they're thinking, and you gotta trust what you have. I mean that's kind of the goal. You got to trust what you have and know what you have, and kind of use it to your advantage a little bit.
No, absolutely. So let's shift over to, I wanted to talk about this because obviously you guys like but you just mentioned Kyle Teal, who was just drafted by the Red
Mhm.
Sox, right? Terrific player at Virginia. Talk a little bit about just New Jersey baseball. I mean, again, growing up with yourself and Kyle Teal, guys who now are playing the next level. I mean, I feel like when you talk about New Jersey, you talk more about the football and basketball elements. You don't really talk
Mhm.
about baseball that much, and I feel like there's a lot of talent that came out of the state. I remember I saw some thing on Instagram about like the New Jersey guys who just got drafted.
Mhm.
So that's, I mean, talk a little bit about that, just kind of having to grow up and play against competitive players, from your entire life up until even college.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guys. I can only probably name a few. Kyle Teal, Anthony Volpe is a shortstop for the New York Yankees I played against and with. Jack Leiter was a first rounder. There's so many more I'm not even thinking about. But I mean, baseball in New Jersey, I mean, it's big time. It's come a long way, I feel like. Just a bunch of gritty guys from the Northeast just doing their thing. But no, it's been awesome playing against a lot of those guys and with those guys. Kyle Teal, I've been playing since I was sixth grade, seventh grade. So it's been a blast kind of getting to know everyone. And I feel like New Jersey has kind of a good culture together. So if you're from New Jersey and you're hanging out with someone from, I mean, from the Brewers, and there's a New Jersey guy, you kind of gravitate to them a little bit because they know what you're about, which is pretty special. But yeah, it was a blast. There's so many guys that I'm forgetting that have been drafted or have had a long career, which is pretty special.
Yeah, and shifting into New Jersey a little bit. I mean, it's funny because you and I always got along, but we were at rival schools in high school, and those competitions were definitely fierce. I mean, for the viewers, like he and I didn't guard him, but Sandberg
Mm.
always put him on me, and I thought it was actually a pretty brilliant scheme because you guys actually like had some good defensive schemes. But talk a little bit about those battles, not just from basketball sense, but also from baseball, just competing in that rivalry. Because even though you guys took a lot of those games from a basketball sense, it was those games were so competitive and down the
Yeah.
wire. I just remember like that rivalry was just it gets slept on a lot in sports. Ramapo and
Yeah.
Ridgewood definitely have a rivalry, and I don't think it's talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think White Call from Franklin Lakes is kind of like Ridgewood, so we kind of battle it out at each other. But I'll start with football. You guys would kill us in football. Never had a chance against them. And then basketball, I helped when I played Goats with Joe Jackson, so I got to know a bunch of the Ridgewood guys, which was awesome. And playing against them in high school was cool. But yeah, I mean, it was a battle. It was definitely a battle. Basketball and baseball and football, even though I didn't play football in high school, but it was definitely a battle. There's so many games that we played what two a year, two every single year, right?
Yeah.
In the league play,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
We played two every single year. And you played three
yeah,
years against me too. So like that was
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like you knew each other like the back of your hand in a sense. Cause like the
yeah.
scouting report were just like, you would spend a lot more time on those scouting reports just because you'd be like, we're playing this
Mhm.
team twice a year and we know these games
We
are gonna
got to
be
do,
2 to
yeah,
4 point games.
yeah. Every time doesn't matter if one team's better or one team's not. It'll be close as hell. But yeah, Coach Sandberg would always draw up some good plays, and I don't know if I've ever lost to Ridgewood. Like, I mean, I probably did growing up. But Sam Favieri, Ben Garrity, a bunch of those
Yeah.
guys my buddies with. Yeah, so playing against them was awesome. Who else? I can't remember if we ever lost, like, for real. We
I
might
think
we might have.
we beat you once my junior year at Ramapo.
So that
And
was
that was the
myself.
only
Yeah.
time I ever beat you. Because the first 2 years you
So
guys had Lotka and those guys, and we never stood a
yeah,
chance. They were so much older than
that
us. And
team
then last two
that team
years
was so good.
you guys got. I mean, I know you and Jay Opp were kind of the two
Mhm.
guys there. I remember the game we played at Ridge my senior year when you had that went coast to coast and got the game winner.
Yeah, I still
That
have that on video. I
yeah.
think it's on my computer actually.
Oh,
Uh, but Ben Landell had passed away a few days before that. I was like, afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, like he helped me with that.
yeah.
Thank you, Ben. But yeah, I mean that was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, it was funny though. We always had like we didn't talk a lot of trash or anything like that, but it was
Hmm.
just like it would just be like I walk in the game and you have like Pernetti and Kakura both like 6'5" and 6'6", and then I'd be like guarded by you, and you're tall. I'm not saying you weren't, but
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
I didn't get it at first. But then I kind of understood it. Like you guys just didn't want me driving from the perimeter, so it's like all right, we'll just
yeah,
have him play down here, and I was like, okay, I guess
yeah.
I'll figure it out. And it took me after like the second game, I kind of had an idea what you guys were going to do. The first game, I was like, what
Hmm.
the heck is this defensive scheme they're
What are
putting?
they doing?
Yeah, I didn't get it. Like I was just like I'm sitting there. I'm
I
like, what is going on here?
I think
I'm
we're
like, he's
just
their small
lucky
forward.
there. Yeah, I think we're just lucky there.
Yeah, no, but
That's awesome.
no, but I was gonna say, what I guess from your time, like what is the thing you're most looking forward to now as you progress through things? Like what's the I guess is it just like working hard and trying to make it up the ranks? I mean, what is something that you're really looking forward to as, the next couple months come along and, you're
Mhm.
trying to work yourselves up to get to the majors?
Well, right now I'm looking for hoping I get called up to low A or some affiliate with an actual team. That would be awesome. Trying to get my feet wet there. But if not, I mean, I'm looking forward to obviously the goal is to go to Milwaukee and play there. Just getting better each day. I mean, it's awesome. The grind's real, and I got a bunch of friends at home that are watching me and doing my thing. So it's gonna be awesome, kind of getting to do that and live out my dream.
Absolutely. Well, Casey, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's good talking to you when we're not obviously competing in the same lines. I know it was a long time ago, but it's good to see your success. Obviously, it's good to have North Jersey be represented in a successful way. So I really appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was awesome. Trying to getting to talk Ramapo Ridgewood was awesome, and I mean, I'm looking forward to everything to go on with me. And good luck with everything. You've been doing awesome things.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. So Shred Steaks. This is I'm Mike Schur, Casey Hunt. Thanks.